is the safest place in the world to drive? Well, in Canada, in rural areas, twice as many people die due to car accidents as in urban areas. However, in urban areas, twice as many people are injured as in rural areas due to car accidents. So again, I ask, where is the safest place to drive? The answer? The Maldives, an island chain situated in the world. There, only one person out of every 50,000 dies due to car accident. However, if you happen to be vacationing in the Maldives and you run into one of the 8 Canucks I'm about to introduce you to there and they're driving a rental car on the street, I would get off that street because these urban and rural drivers are not just dangerous. Oh, no, no. It's much, much worse than that. In fact, one of them is Canada's worst driver. Where your wheels are? Or let me put it this way. Do you know that when you're driving, your left foot is just a few inches behind your left front wheel? If you know that simple fact, then you know where your wheels are. Look, this thing right here, it's in your car too. It's called the dead pedal, and it's always in almost every vehicle this distance away from your front wheel. If you know where your foot is, you know where your wheel is. Do Canada's worst drivers know where their wheels are? We're about to find out in an annual challenge we call Riding the Rails.
This year's Rail Challenge is on a slight incline. Drivers have to get this Chevy Tracker onto these steel I-beams, then motor their way across them, stopping with their front wheels on these red marks. Then they have to reverse back. Before I show you how it's done, I adjust my mirrors so I can see where the rear tires touch the road.
Where do we go? There we go. Here we go.
Getting on the rails is easy. Staying on the rails is easy. Stopping on the red line, though, is tricky because
I can no longer see the red line. I just lost it over the hood. But I know, because I did see it before, that it is right. I'm gonna say there. Ooh! I went a little bit too far. Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna put my foot on the brake, give it a bit of gas.
with the gas and brake simultaneously engaged, the front wheels hold while the rear wheels spin until I release the brake. Backing straight off the rails is easy thanks to my mirrors.
There's the bottom ramp, and I'm done. Was it a perfect run? I'm gonna say no, but it was successful. Now, do Canada's worst drivers know where their wheels are?
Judging by the condition of his car, Jason from Sudbury, Ontario, doesn't know where his wheels are. He was nominated as Canada's worst driver by his brother Bart, because Jason sees so badly he can't judge the speed of oncoming traffic.
Whoa! Jesus! What?
On our Know Where Your Wheels Are challenge, Jason drives onto the rails without adjusting his mirrors. As a result, he has no idea that he's drifting to the right. In this mirror, you do not see the bottom of this wheel?
No.
So why don't you right now, for your own good, adjust the mirror so you can see the bottom of the wheel? Why don't you do that? Do you see where my finger is now?
Yes.
You mean that if you adjust the mirrors, you can see where your wheels are?
Yes.
Such simple little lessons to learn such obvious things.
Yes.
When Jason drives in parking lots,
Good job.
he often taps other cars with his front bumper just by going a little bit too far.
Frig.
Jason's now in the exact same predicament I got myself in.
What's going to prevent you from falling in this situation?
Keeping my wheel straight.
No. Controlling the brake and gas simultaneously will prevent him from falling. Jason does not understand pedal control.
How many feet you got?
About a foot.
How many feet do you have on your body?
About 5 feet.
Cheney from Calgary was nominated as Canada's worst driver by her boyfriend Jeremy because when Cheney gets a windshield in front of her,
Where am I going? What are you doing?
It's a red light.
Oh, man.
she often complains about being unable to see.
I can't see.
Why can't you see? Are you blind?
On our Know Where Your Wheels Are challenge,
I'm on them?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's fantastic.
Cheney wants Jeremy to tell her when to stop.
Help me, Jeremy.
I can't see anything either.
Cheney needs to think for herself.
Okay, you might as well not be in the car if you're not going to help me.
Santana, from the small town of Port aux Basques, Newfoundland, was nominated as Canada's worst driver by her best friend, Jim Bob, because
What are you doing looking at Facebook while you're driving? Are you serious, Santana?
Santana focuses so much on her cell phone, she doesn't see traffic lights.
Those people blowing the horns at you?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't do something right.
On our Know Where Your Wheels Are course,
Now, where in the is my tires to?
Santana fails immediately. Santana doesn't know where her wheels are.
How many of the 200 to 300 things you've hit, how many of those things did you hit because you don't really grasp where your wheels are?
I would say all of them.
All of them. Okay.
Highway bully George was nominated as Canada's worst driver by his buddy Patrick because
That's a normal driver.
speed freak George likes using his big black pickup truck to intimidate people into moving out of his way.
Come on now, lady, move out of the way.
To make matters worse, George is teaching his 16-year-old son Cody how to drive.
Should go to speed limit.
I'm gonna fall asleep.
That's okay.
On our Know Where Your Wheels Are challenge course,
Just trying to kind of stay straight here.
George has predicted an easy pass.
I think he must. Whoa.
Every time George fails, Patrick has vowed to punch him.
You buggers.
Mariah was nominated as Canada's worst driver by her best friend, Jessica, because Mariah's car often resembles a dance club, and everyone in it is drunk.
On occasion, Mariah has a few too many drinks and gets behind the wheel and does drive.
On our Know Where Your Wheels Are challenge,
This challenge looks easy.
Mariah becomes the second person to make it successfully onto the red marks.
I can't tell if I'm on the red. I think they're there. Woohoo! I know!
Without setting the mirrors to see the bottom of her tires, Mariah confidently reverses.
You're different than everybody else here. So many people here have confidence issues, and that's not your issue.
No. I'm very confident in what I do.
Mariah's biggest issue is that she is an unrepentant drunk driver. The fact that she doesn't know where her wheels are seems small in comparison.
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
Mariah has a lot of issues to address.
And if you were drunk, how far would you have made it on that course?
Probably not on that.
Tyler from rural Quebec was nominated by his buddy Q because Tyler was once hit in an intersection, and he now believes it's safer to stop at every green light.
Where's he going now?
You gonna let the viewer?
Go. Yeah, peace to you too.
Oh, and did I mention, Tyler's also a licensed pilot.
I am so happy I am not on that highway right now.
On our Know Where Your Wheels Are course, the pilot has a crash landing.
Holy shoot.
Tyler has never heard of the dead pedal.
See where my left foot is?
Oh, yeah. You're stepping on the tire. If I kept my eye on that, I could have just almost driven with my foot instead of worrying about the wheel.
Yeah.
When we come back, the Know Where Your Wheels Are challenge concludes. Canada's worst drivers are showing us whether or not they know where their wheels are. And the next person to run this course will be Ian, who was nominated as Canada's worst driver by his buddy Adam. Because Ian is Kingston's most dangerous taxi driver.
Future advice for Ian's taxi passengers is transit or walk.
On our Know Where Your Wheels Are challenge, Ian presents me with a note.
What is it?
Last night I was up all night and I created a list of my foibles as a driver.
This list contains things like I talk too much while driving and I play music too loud while driving.
I'll bring it to studio and show it to the panel.
Cool.
The panel of experts that will help me decide who is Canada's worst driver includes Cam Woolley, a former highway patrolman who is now our legal expert. Philippe Letourneau teaches high-speed driving maneuvers. Shamala Kiru is our resident therapist. And Tim Danter is our head driving instructor.
The left foot being on the dead pedal, I mean, you know, there is a reason why we do tell drivers to use that.
On the rails, Ian makes it all the way to the red marks.
I think we are on the red.
But is he sure?
I think so, yeah.
Now it's time to reverse.
Do you take taxis? Maybe you should take the bus because that's a Canadian cab driver.
Mirror use is not on Ian's written list of driving foibles.
Set it properly and use it.
I was using it.
Seaham was nominated as Canada's worst driver by her husband, Wayne, because Seaham was rear-ended in a 4-car pileup a few years ago. And that accident scared her so much, she doesn't even like being a passenger anymore.
Oh my God.
Driving on our Know Where Your Wheels Are course,
Oh, I don't want to touch the gas, Wayne.
Seaham will only move an inch at a time. While Seaham goes nowhere fast, I'm delivering photocopies of Ian's letter to our experts.
Why did he give this to you?
You tell me. He told me that he just wanted to identify what it is he needed help with.
Apparently, he needs help with the fact that he drives one-handed and pays too much for insurance.
Said to play music too loud, and then in brackets, said to be a distraction. Most of this isn't our issue.
Yeah, they're not skills,
Turn
they're
down your
choices.
music, put your hands in the wheel, get a good deal on insurance, go away.
You're so cold. But exactly, yeah.
When we talked to Ian about his accidents, he was always putting the responsibility on other people. And I sort of see him doing that physically now with this list.
Holy crow, Seaham's still on the course.
Still there.
Excuse me.
Seaham may be slow, but she does successfully get her front tires on the red marks.
Oh my God.
There you go.
Going backwards, though,
Oh my God.
Seaham is slower than she was going forwards.
Help me out here, man. I'm f***ing doing all the thinking by myself.
Inch by precarious inch, Seaham reverses to the end of the course,
Oh my God. Oh my God.
completing the 18-meter long course. Took Seaham over an hour.
Congratulations. I think that's the longest success in the history of the rehab center.
When we met Canada's worst drivers in episode 1 of season 10, it became apparent that reversing in a straight line is a problem for them. So today, we're going to have them practice straight line reversing on this simple course where they will compete head to head. Starting with Santana and Seaham. But before they compete, they're going to get a lesson in straight line reversing from our expert, Tim.
Put your hand behind the passenger side. All right, what that does is enables you to pull yourself around to take the strain off the neck. Put the left foot on the dead pedal and you can actually push your body around a bit. Always left hand at 12 o'clock because that's a reference to
Driving straight.
wheel straight. And you look out the rear window, look to where you want to go. Do this and you'll ace it.
How did you reverse before you just received that lesson?
Well, my hand wouldn't be on 12 o'clock. And when I would look back, I would be looking at the seat, not watch where I'm
You'd be
going.
looking at the seat while reversing.
Yes.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
God. How did that work out for you?
Not good.
No, I bet not. Imagine how successful our driving school would be if our best and most common phrase was, look at the seat.
Yeah, that wouldn't be good.
No. What is our phrase?
Look to where you want to go.
Yes.
Go! Santana looks where she wants to go, and she reverses quickly and perfectly to the turnaround area.
Hey, you actually did that pretty good. I am impressed.
Seaham, though, is not impressive.
Look where you want to go. Look back, look back, right? Look back.
Instead of looking back, Seaham looks all over.
Give it to her. Drive it like you stole it.
I did it. I did it.
Santana has done a perfect run.
You want some extra practice?
Sure.
Turn around and do it again.
While Seaham suffers, Santana goes up and back cleanly.
Yes! It's a beautiful thing, hey?
I know.
Can you make it up and back one more time before she comes home?
Possibly.
Let her rip. Look at speed and everything. It's just that easy, folks. Hand at 12 o'clock. Oh, let's see him. It's not so easy for her.
Oh my God.
Seaham needs to follow our advice.
I just can't seem to want to look at my back window.
Next to be taught and tested is Tyler and Jason.
The objective is to turn your body around so you look out the rear window of the car.
Like that.
Yeah.
On your mark. Get set. Go!
Give her.
Instead of looking exclusively through the back window like he was just taught,
I forgot to turn my wheel, that's why.
Jason swivels his noggin around like a bobblehead doll.
Oh, shoot.
Tyler, on the other hand, is following instructions and driving successfully. Well, temporarily successfully.
Oh, I'm not even doing it like he said.
This is the big part. You have this much room. This much room. You could stage a musical in here, man.
Get straight. Go straight. Get straight.
Okay.
Once both drivers get turned around, Jason reverses while looking forwards?
You gotta turn around. You gotta turn around and be able to see it.
Yeah.
And Tyler reverses with his hand on the bottom of the wheel.
Where's your hand? Where's your hand?
Hey?
Where's your hand?
At 6 o'clock.
Tyler was taught to hold the steering wheel at the top.
I think we should correct the rule to 6 instead of 12.
Excuse me, that's my cue to go talk to the other guy.
And what did I hit?
Jason was taught to look out the back window.
Did you spend the entire voyage looking out the back window as you were taught?
No, I didn't.
When we come back, the rest of Canada's worst drivers are taught and tested on straight line reversing. Canada's worst drivers have been learning how to reverse in a straight line.
Put the left foot on the dead pedal and you can actually push your body around a bit.
Now, they're being tested on that skill in a head-to-head reversing challenge. And Cheney versus Mariah is next.
You ready? You're ready?
Yep.
Okay, on your mark. Get set, go! For somebody who said they were ready, that's not very ready.
Mariah is in the correct seating position, but her steering isn't straight. Remember how I told you Cheney often becomes blind when sitting behind a windshield?
I can't see where I'm going here. Ooh.
It's happening again.
Where am I? Whoa.
You don't see that?
No, I did. Okay, I got this. I can't, it's weird to like, okay. So if I go this way, I'm going to go right, right?
Go left.
Good.
This course is ridiculously easy. But for these women,
How do I get over there?
it may as well be rocket science.
Shit.
Cheney, you gotta go straight down your
I
lane.
am going down my lane. Oh my God.
Mariah has hit 9 objects on this course, yet she thinks she's driven like a
Pro. Yes. Stop it.
Mariah has nothing to celebrate.
So,
That was so not bad.
Cheney is worse than bad.
Can't see. Ooh.
And now she's making excuses.
Babe, I can't see. I can't see. Like,
Cheney never sat the way Tim taught her.
You just gotta position yourself. Dead pedal. Dead pedal.
you can see.
I can see, I
You
guess.
can see.
The final clash is George versus Ian.
Go!
George goes exactly how he was taught to go, but is just barely beating Ian.
He's keeping it pretty good.
Is he?
No, he's not.
Just go clean.
Cab driver.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Oh, I'd give that cab driver a tip, all right. Yep. I would say never drive a cab again. That's my tip to you, sir.
No, at least stop.
Beautiful, George.
Good job.
George easily beats Ian.
This guy drives a cab.
I don't see how that's possible.
No. Maybe Ian should get a new job. When we come back,
Holy crap!
Canada's worst drivers hit our annual Eye of the Needle course. When Santana drives at home in Newfoundland, she often goes off the road while cornering.
Keep it on the pavement, boy.
Our high-speed instructor, Philippe Letourneau, is about to learn why.
When you drive, where are you looking?
Towards the bonnet.
The bonnet, the front end of the car, right? I will recommend when you drive in the city to look at least one block ahead and keep this in your head. Always look where you want the car to go.
Okay.
If you want the car to go into a pylon that's a block away, stare directly at that pylon and you'll be drawn to it. In this case, though, look, 2 additional pylons have been set up, and they have only 1 foot of clearance on either side of Philippe's car. Because he's staring at the middle pylon, Philippe goes between the outside pylons. For Santana to drive between the 2 outside pylons, Philippe tells her to go 50 km an hour.
Speed is good.
And stare at the pylon in the middle.
Nice.
To squeeze through a tight space without a center cone to stare at, the same principle applies.
This time there's no cone, so where are you gonna look?
In the middle of the 2 cones.
Which is the opening, do you agree?
Yes.
Santana looks through the opening far down the road, and she squeezes through the tight space. And every other Canada's Worst Driver nominee succeeds.
Middle, middle, middle.
By staring at the middle of the opening instead of at the 2 cones they're trying to avoid.
What's the goal of that training?
To get you to look farther and see more so you can take in more.
It takes a lot of hard-working people to bring you Canada's Worst Driver. And one of the hardest working of them all is Professor X, who builds all of the props I use whenever I introduce a challenge.
So what did you build us, Professor X?
Canada's Worst Driver time machine.
Time machine. He built us a time machine for Canada's Worst Driver. So instead of, just set it for 2005, that's season 1. So instead of me introducing the next challenge in the normal way, I'm going to travel back through time, and I will introduce this next challenge from season 1 of Canada's Worst Driver! We call this challenge the Eye of the Needle. The Eye of the Needle. Eye of the Needle. The Eye of the Needle. Eye of the Needle. The Eye of the Needle. Eye of the Needle. The Eye of the Needle. The Eye of the Needle. Eye of the Needle. I'll show you how it's done.
I'll show you how it's done in our fancy Cadillac CTS V. This year's Eye of the Needle course will be done at 70 kilometers an hour, and the arches have been staggered exactly 1 lane width apart from each other to emulate a series of sudden lane changes.
Unsafe lane change is the #1 cause of crashes on multi-lane Canadian roads.
They gotta get up to 70 km an hour. Wow, which is so easy in this car. That's 60, that's 70. I'm going too fast. That's 70. Look straight through, swish, change lanes, retain 70, swish. You gotta get in front. If you go through these things while you're, wow. If you go through those things while you're changing lanes, you'll hit them for sure.
I hit none because I didn't look at the edges of the arches.
Did I duck this year?
Santana is up first.
What's the most things you've ever hit in 1 day?
Maybe 10 things.
You've hit 10 things in 1 day.
Yeah.
Go whenever you feel ready, Santana, okay?
Oh my God! Are you serious? Oh my God! Oh my God! Stop these too much! Holy crap! Okay, I'm gonna stop.
Santana bypassed 2 arches, and she hit 2 arches because
I think I was looking at sky, to be honest.
both the arches Santana hit were on the passenger side.
Sorry about that. That must have hurt a lot. Sorry.
Hitting on the passenger side is common. In fact, during the 10 years that we've been doing this Eye of the Needle challenge, we've seen dozens and dozens of hits. And more than 90% of those hits have been on the passenger side.
There's the arch. The bad driver puts themselves in the middle. They put themselves in the safest spot, and they just forget their passenger even exists, and they just run that passenger into that wall every time, every time, every time.
Tyler hates driving fast.
Oh my God, this is only 60.
Because when he drives fast, he's unable to process information.
Oh, Jesus. Did I hit any?
Tyler murdered one.
This is the scene of the crime right here.
Mariah has often stared at obstacles she wanted to avoid.
How many things have you driven into because you started staring at them and it was almost like you were drawn into it?
So many things.
So many things?
Yeah, like uncountable. Yeah.
Do you think you would be able to do this if you were drunk?
No.
Do you know why I'm bringing this up every single time you get in a car?
Because it's wrong.
And what's my goal for you when you leave here, do you think?
So that I never do that again.
On our 70k an hour Eye of the Needle course, Mariah is barefoot, which is acceptable. However, speeding to over 100k an hour is not acceptable.
Ah! Shit! Ah! I couldn't make it for the other one.
Mariah did not do what Philippe taught her to do.
Were you looking at the sides?
Yeah.
You got panicked and you didn't look in the middle?
No.
Cheney isn't wearing sensible driving shoes, even though we've been begging her to.
To 70. Watch where you're going.
I am.
Where are you going?
Oh, shit!
After hitting the first arch, Cheney speeds up to 90.
Shit!
Oh, shit! Oh!
Oh, shit.
Oh,
Right out of the gate, Cheney's footwear was causing problems.
she wasn't revving up to 70 evenly. She was like, vroom, vroom,
Yes.
vroom. It was jerking her right away, right?
It'd just be so much easier if I could just put it on cruise control.
When we come back, the rest of Canada's worst drivers run our Eye of the Needle course.
Did I hit any?
Canada's worst drivers have been trying to look through and drive through our annual Eye of the Needle course. But so far, not one of them has had a clean run.
Oh, Jesus.
When highway bully George has seen people fail this challenge on TV, he has called them
Morons.
You call them morons?
Yep.
All right, well, let's hope you don't turn into a moron here today.
All right, thanks a lot.
George is supposed to go 70, but he speeds up to 80.
Ooh, that was close. Ooh.
You didn't hit any of them. Holy.
George becomes the first person to hit nothing.
Ooh, I'm not a moron.
Jason needs glasses, but he just said to me,
I don't really see how vision's gonna play a part in this challenge.
Whoa.
That's a start.
Whoa, me. 70, Jay.
Instead of going 70, Jason goes 90.
Oh. 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 Stop.
Did I hit any?
Oh my God.
Did he hit any? Jason's vision is worse than I thought.
Do you see me holding this sign?
No, I don't see you.
I'm waving.
I don't see you.
I thought this was going to be, can he read the sign, not can he not see me?
What gets to me about him is that it's such a simple problem to fix, and yet he refuses to do anything about it.
Stop, stop. How far away are you from me?
About 50 feet?
And you can't read this sign?
No.
You shouldn't be driving then.
No.
That's it.
Did you pass?
Did you pass?
No.
No.
Seaham is up next. And she's not off to the smoothest start.
Okay, 70. It's all right. Go ahead. Look for the next one. Look for the next one. For the next one.
Oh my God.
That's all right.
If Seaham is named Canada's worst driver, she says she'll quit driving forever.
Oh my God.
Taxi driver Ian, who wrote us a letter listing his driving issues, is up next.
Yeah, one of the issues that Ian identified is the tendency to sometimes drive with, one hand on the wheel, one hand on the e-brake. Let's see if he does that here.
Let's see if he's going to put the music on.
With the music off and his hands positioned correctly, Ian drives the correct speed.
You know what, though? I think for the most part,
Ian didn't do too badly.
I think it was a pass. Easily. Oh, yeah.
When we come back,
Do you deserve to graduate this episode?
some of the Canada's Worst Driver nominees try to convince our experts they should graduate.
I'm at a loss. What do you do?
We've taught and tested Canada's worst drivers to find out if they can reverse at slow speed, if they can steer at high speed,
Did I hit any?
and if they know where their wheels are.
Holy shoot.
Before that challenge happened, Ian gave me a list of his driving foibles, which reads more like a list of his bad habits. Now, it's time for all the bad drivers to speak with our experts, who are presently re-examining Ian's letter.
What's up with this letter?
It's a list of the things that I recognize that I need help with.
Yeah, but if you're asking for help, like parallel parking, I could understand. I read here that you're playing music too loud. It's a choice. You just turn the radio off.
So many of them are choices. Does tend to drive one-handed. That's a choice.
Eat and drink while driving.
Choice.
Just stop.
Speeding.
Choice. Distraction issues. Choice. Habit of looking at side passenger. We're talking to him. That's a choice.
One choice that I hadn't realized Ian has made is that he's chosen to give up driving a cab.
I'm a student for journalism.
Oh. And you're not actively seeking cab work?
No.
Are you Canada's worst driver?
I don't think so.
Is George Canada's worst driver? This highway bully performed better than anyone else on our courses this episode.
Do you deserve to graduate this episode?
I think so.
I think this year we could probably name everybody Canada's worst driver.
I think I could be Canada's worst driver, yeah.
I lean towards a might.
I think I may be Canada's worst driver.
Are you Canada's worst driver?
Yes.
I do want to graduate, but I don't believe it's time for me to go home.
I still don't think I'm Canada's worst driver.
It's time to choose this season's first graduate. And based purely on skill, it should be George. But when he goes home, George says he'll continue to teach his 16-year-old son how to drive.
Tim, you're shaking your head?
No, he's not ready to go. Well, he's not ready to teach his son how to drive. Let me leave it at that.
Yeah, but we're not looking for Canada's worst instructor or teacher or whatever. We're looking for Canada's worst driver.
You know, in each year we have our rules, but almost every year, and we're in season 10 now, we find an exception when we're in deliberation. And I think Ian is a pretty unusual exception. I think based on his list, almost all of his problems are his own choice.
So you want him to graduate?
I'd be graduating him based on this unusual circumstance, not necessarily his prowess as a driver.
Shamla?
Yeah, I would agree. When we talked with Ian, it became really clear that at least 90% of what he had identified were choices that he was making.
So you would graduate Ian?
Yes, I would.
I wouldn't. I think George should graduate.
I was leaning towards George, but after speaking to him, I still think he's fairly dangerous.
The graduation shortlist for this episode came down to 2 people. Ian, you. And George, you. Ian, you're on the list because you wrote a letter that listed all of the things that you need to do to become a safe driver. George, you're the best driver here. So, who will graduate? The guy who knows what choices he has to make to be a safe driver? Or the guy who is clearly the best driver here? Our experts have made their choice, and they choose Ian. Wow. Because safe driving is all about making smart choices, and you, sir, have shown us that you know which choices to make.
Thank you very much.
So congratulations to you.
Thank you.
You're the season's first graduate.
Thank you.
When Ian came to rehab, he was a licensed cab driver who had gotten into accidents because he hadn't been conducting himself smartly behind the wheel.
It was choices that I was making, and not necessarily that I am actually a fully bad driver.
Ian is partially a bad driver, but now that he has become more self-aware, it's safe to say that Ian is not Canada's worst driver.
When I get home to Kingston, I am going to be a smarter driver.
And he's going to be a civilian driver, not a cab driver.
Yes, that's the wisest choice of all. I'm taking that off for the good name of cabbies across the country.
Can I keep it as a souvenir?
Sure, why not? Just never use it again.
Absolutely.
Never! Never try to drive professionally again. That's one of your wisest choices of all time. Have a good career as a journalist, my friend. Make safe choices, buddy. Well done. Who is Canada's worst driver? I don't know. That's one of them.
On the next episode of Canada's Worst Driver, the nominees learn how to do a proper shoulder check.
What happened there?
They reverse around a simple figure-8 course.
Man, I don't understand this crap.
And they learn why distracted driving,
this crazy,
is the #1 cause of crashes on Canadian roads.
It's bound to happen one of these days if I don't stop.